Hello friends, we are going to be doing problem and solution text structure. We have done problem and solution in fiction, which is the conflict and resolution, but now we are going to be focusing more on problem and solution text structure. Now if you remember, text structure is how a text is organized, an informational text. So the first thing that we had to do is learn how to do problem and solution. So problem and solution is conflict and resolution, the problems that we come across in a text and how it's solved. That is essentially what we are going to be doing here, but it is how the text is organized. In problem and solution text, the author talks about a problem or problems and solutions or possible solutions to the problem or problems. So now that we learned what the definition of problem and solution was earlier in the year, now we're going to focus on the text structure. So we are going to be taking these notes. And then I will do a quick example for you. Make sure we put text structure because this is not just problem and solution. This is text structure when we're talking about informational text. We've already talked about cause and effect text structure. We've talked about chronological order text structure. And we have also talked about, now we're talking about problem and solution text structure. So a problem and solution text describes a problem and how it's solved. And I'm going to add as well because a lot of times we have problem and solution and someone proposes how to fix it because it hasn't been fixed yet. So I'm going to say, or how it could be solved. We have some clue words. Okay, so as a result is also a cause and effect word. A lot of times we get cause and effect and problem and solution confused. Cause and effect shows how something causes another thing. And that's it. Problem and solution can show us how one thing causes another, and that poses a problem. But it also, in problem and solution, it offers us a solution. Cause and effect, it does not offer us a solution. So that is how we can tell the difference. Okay, some more clue words. So, because, resolve, concern, problem, issue, due to, solution. Those are some keywords. Some questions to ask while looking at a problem and solution or to find out if it is a problem and solution text structure are, what was the problem? What was wrong? How was it solved? Or how could it be solved? How did things get better or change? Those are some questions that we could ask ourselves. Some example topics that we could talk about could be All right, some topics that we can discuss in problem and solution text structure could be endangered animals. It could be pollution. There's a lot of topics, but here are some examples you might see. And yes, they can discuss the cause of each, but remember, cause and effect only tells you the causes and effects. It does not offer you a solution. Problem and solution does. So now we're going to do a model. All right, I got this out of my reading packet, and I'm going to put it on the next page with glue. Okay, so go ahead and do that. You can pause and come on back. Okay. Okay. All right, I have my highlighter. I'm going to read this passage, and I want you to follow along, either here or on your notebook. And a highlighter would help you as well, or a light colored marker. And I also have my pen, which actually I think I'm going to get a different color. It's black. And this is a problem solution paragraph. And I'm going to tell you how I know that. Do you take your dog for a walk, or does your dog take you for a walk? Leash pulling is a common problem with puppies, especially large breeds. Leash pulling could easily lead to your dog getting free of his leash or into trouble. So they could get into trouble, they could get free. To leash train your dog, you must stop and stand still every time he pulls on the leash. When the dog calms down, praise him. Wait a minute and then begin to walk slowly. The minute he starts pulling again, stop, wait, praise, and then move on. With your patience, your dog will soon learn not to pull on his leash. So my problem is leash pulling, which is when the dog takes you for a walk. And the solution here is to leash train. And it gives us some tips. So problem, solution. Yes, it tells me causes. It tells me dog can get free of his leash as an effect, can get into trouble. And here's a way to solve it. That's how I know it is problem and solution. All right, we're going to do a model of problem and solution text structure. And I'm going to show you how I know this is problem and solution text structure, and then how to find the problem and the solutions in the text. So this is attached. It's Living on Mars is our passage by Kevin Charles. And then remember, when we read, we always read it first to understand. So I'm going to give you an opportunity to read this and come on back, make sure we understand it together, and then I'll read it again to show you the different keywords, and then we will read it again to find the problem and solution. Okay? So read it and come on back. Okay. So the second time that we read it, we are going to be looking for keywords. Now, the keywords that I gave you in your notes, there are many more keywords, and we can add that to our mental word bank for problem and solution. So let's read this. Do you think it is possible to live on Mars? Humans need certain things to live, such as air and water. Mars has frozen water underground and at its polar caps, and it has an atmosphere. Of all the planets in our solar system, Mars has the best conditions to support human life. Yet, if you wanted to settle on Mars, you would have to overcome challenges. That word challenges shows a problem, a keyword to a problem. One difficulty could be one, is the poor atmosphere of Mars. It is much thinner than Earth's atmosphere and is mostly made of carbon dioxide. As a result, there is not enough oxygen in the air for humans to breathe. So that could be the problem. Can't breathe. To solve this problem, you could take air with you from Earth to make your own air on Mars. To solve this problem is a good keyword. Another problem is that Mars is very cold, windy, and dusty. The average temperature is about -81 Fahrenheit. In order to live on Mars, you would need to wear a spacesuit to keep warm. The spacesuit would have to be light and flexible enough so you could move about freely. Fold this and roll up. The lack of liquid water on the surface is also an issue. There's another word for problem. You would have to take ice from deep below the surface and melt it. Melted ice could be used for drinking. Some scientists have suggested using large mirrors to reflect the sun and melt the polar caps on Mars. So this would be solution. Keyword. Having enough food to eat is another challenge that you would face on Mars. At the present time, there are no data showing that Mars has animals or plants on a surface. Therefore, you would have to bring your own food to a settlement, and you would have to learn how to grow food in greenhouses. If you lived in a Mars colony, you would have to deal with the problem of distance. It is more than 6 months to reach Mars. That is a long trip if you need to return to Earth for supplies. Despite all of these problems, some humans are eager to build permanent colonies on Mars. Do they believe creating a settlement is an important opportunity? Who knows? Maybe one day you'll be making the trip. So all of these keywords show me several problems and several solutions. So I know that this is a problem and solution text structure because of the keywords that I see here. Then I think overall they're talking about problems living on Mars and solutions, possible solutions, because this hasn't happened yet, so it's possible solutions to this problem. So now I'm going to be marking on the bottom of the text some possible solutions, problems and solutions, and I'm going to be marking here. Okay, so one difficulty it says is poor atmosphere. So I'm going to say P, problem, poor atmosphere. And the solution was to take air with us. Take air from Earth. Another problem is that Mars is very cold. So I'm going to write here, problem, cold. A solution, it says, you would have to wear a spacesuit to keep warm. Another issue, we'll put this problem, is lack of water. A solution could be large mirrors to melt. For melting of the ice. Another one is food. And a solution would be to bring your own food. So there's several problems and several solutions. My overall problem is living on Mars has many issues. And the solutions all solve the little issues. So that is a problem and solution text structure model.